Today we're going to be checking out a free-to-play King of Games deck that you can make with 0 gems. But before we do that, make sure you guys leave a like on the video, and also if you guys are new here, make sure you guys subscribe. We're trying to reach 10,000 subscribers, so I would really appreciate it. But anyways, let's get right into the video. Alright guys, this is the deck that we're going to be talking about. This is going to be a Cyber Angel deck made by Fanta, and this deck actually requires 0 gems for you to make. If we look at how to obtain every single card in this deck, you can actually get these cards by leveling up Alexis Rhodes. You can also get these cards at the gate by dueling her, and if you don't want to do either of those, you can actually use your tickets for this. Now at the moment I don't have any SR tickets to show you guys, but pretty much if you guys have a good amount of SR tickets, you can make this Cyber Angel deck. But anyways, let's go straight into ranked PvP to see how many wins we can actually pull off with this deck. Alright, so we're going to be going up against an Odeon player. So I'm assuming this is going to be a stall deck, so it might be really annoying. But for our first turn, we're actually drawing into a Djinn Demolisher, and our hand is actually not looking too bad. To start off, we can activate our Merciful Machine Angel, and that means we contribute a card from our hand, which is going to be Ben 10, so we can actually draw 2 cards. Now the price of that is that we have to return something back to the deck, and I'm going to be sending a Demolisher. Not only that, with Ben 10 being sent to the grave, I can actually search for whatever card I want. So with that, I grab a Dakini. Now we do have a Machine Angel ritual in hand, so we're going to be able to activate that and bring out the Dakini onto the field by tributing Ida 10 as well as Demolisher. With Ida 10 being sent to the grave, that means we can actually boost up our monster's attack by 1000. And since we used the Demolisher to bring my monster out onto the field, that means it cannot be targeted by card effects. So we're going to be attacking directly for 3700 attack, and let's see what our opponent has. While the disruption is actually not too bad because we already have 3700 attack and we're only going to be losing 800. Now before we end our turn, the Dakini is actually going to help me recycle. We can actually go and grab that Ben 10 from our grave and bring it right back to our hand. Again, our opponent just set another back row and they ended their turn. This is actually a really good draw because I can activate it once again and do the same thing all over again. Send a Ben 10, draw 2 cards, send 1 back, which is going to be a Merciful Machine Engine because you can only activate 1 per turn. And then we're going to activate the Ben 10's effect from the grave so we can search for something else. And that's going to be another Ben 10. But this time we're bringing out the Ben 10 by shuffling our Ida 10 back to the deck. And hopefully one of these attacks go through so we can actually get a pretty clean win. Draining Shield is going to activate. Our opponent is going to be gaining 1800 attack, which is actually exact life points for our Dakini to attack directly and get us a pretty easy win. So it didn't matter what they activated. So GG's to him. For our next duel, we're going to be going up against Shark, which is most likely going to be some Water Xyz. Now to start off, I'm going to be activating my Machine Angel. That way we can actually draw some cards because it's not really looking too good. I'm going to have to send back a Dakini, and then I'll activate Cyber Petite Angel's effect so I can search for another monster to tribute. That's of course going to be Ben 10. You always want to make sure you tribute Ben 10 because you can always get a search with her. So let's send her to the grave, use the Cyber Petite Angel, and with the Ben 10 we're going to be searching for a Cyber Petite Angel. That way we can search next turn for whatever it is we need, and that's going to be our turn 1 play. The Dakini at the end is actually going to let us recycle. We'll go with the Ben 10, and as you guys can see, the deck is actually fairly simple. You just want to keep ritual summoning monsters, and you want to make sure you activate your Ben 10 as much as possible so you can keep on searching. Ida 10 is only useful when you need to increase your monster's attack, and that's pretty much it. Our opponent is going to be summoning Atlantean Heavy Infantry, which is also going to let him bring out the Marksman. Territory of the Shark is going to activate, and now he's going to be able to exceed into a rank 4. And that's going to be Abyss Dweller in defense position, which means he's going to be activating his effect to get rid of my Ritual Cage and ending his turn right there. We need to find a way to get rid of his monster and his back row as quick as possible. So I'm actually going to be activating the Cyber Petite Angel we searched for last turn. Breakthrough skill is going to be activating to negate my Cyber Petite Angel's effect, which is totally fine. We still have the Dakini on the field, so that means we can just attack into his Dweller. And then we can attack directly with the Petite Angel, and our opponent is already down to 2400 life points. The Dakini will activate, and we'll grab back a Cyber Angel Ida 10 from our grave. Once again, Marksman is going to be coming out onto the field, but this time he has no second monster to bring out, but he does have a back row. He's going to be attacking my Cyber Petite Angel. Will be taking 1100 damage. Okay, so we drew into a Djinn. He's actually not bad. He's actually 1500 attack. We can use him to get rid of the Marksman. As long as that back row does not get in the way, we could possibly win this turn. Let's attack with the Demolisher into his monster. That would be 100 life points, and then we'll attack directly with the Dakini. Delay is going to be triggered, and that's actually a Book of Moon. We still do get to keep our monster, so we'll just end our turn there. And again, he's going to be setting the back row, but this time it doesn't look like he has a monster. Breakthrough skill is going to be activating, negating my Demolisher's effect, and he's going to be setting a monster. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we got this duel in the bag. Let's flip back up our Dakini. TTH is going to be activating to get rid of my Dakini as well as the Demolisher, but that's fine. We have another Demolisher in hand. We'll summon him out onto the field, and then we'll attack into his face down monster. And just like that, our opponent looks like he has no recovery from this. Our opponent drew into a back row. He said it, I'm just going to be attacking. I have nothing else to do. He's going to be taking 1500, and we're just getting closer and closer to getting this win. He's down to 800 life points with a back row that seemed to be a bluff. And we finally got a ritual spell card. I'm going to be activating that so that we can bring out a Dakini onto the field. I'm going to be tributing Ben 10 alongside a Demolisher from the grave. That way our opponent cannot target our Dakini. And once Dakini does come out onto the field, she does have an effect that's going to make my opponent get rid of one monster they control. But first, Ben 10's effect is going to activate, meaning we can search for another monster. And now our opponent has to take care of the monster he controls. And with that, we're going to be attacking directly for 2700, and that's going to be a nice clean win. As you guys can see, this deck is actually really good. This is a free to play King of Games deck that will cost you 0 gems. All you need to do is unlock Alexis Rhodes and get her to at least level 38, so you get your 2 copies of Cyber Petite Angel. There's a couple monsters that you can actually get from her at the gate if you do not want to use your tickets on. But for the most part, you're going to be able to build this deck entirely out of SR tickets. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys leave a like. And if you guys are new here, make sure you guys subscribe. We're trying to reach 10,000 subscribers, so I would really appreciate it if you guys subscribe. But that's actually it for the video, so I'll see you guys in the next one.